So let's look at nomenclature of esters and amides. Esters are basically organic compounds synthesized from chemical reaction between carboxylic acids and alcohols. In other words, esterification reaction is a chemical reaction between carboxylic acid and alcohol to produce esters and water. So for instance, let's say you have this as a carboxylic acid. I have this carboxylic acid reacting with this alcohol. Then the two can interact to produce an ester. Plus some traces of water. So basically this is how esterification reaction goes. And a carboxylic acid reacts with an alcohol to produce an ester plus some traces of water. In the ester molecule, this OH is that of the alcohol, this OR is that of the alcohol, and this O is that of the carboxylic acids. So basically that's how esters are synthesized. Now let's look at nomenclature of esters. Esters are named as ethyl alkanoids. In naming esters, the alcohol portion or the ethyl group of the alcohol is named as ethyl, whereas the group of the carboxylic acid is named as an alkanoid. For example, let's say if this place was an ethanol, it means the ethyl group is ethyl. And let's see if this was a propanoic acid, it means the ethyl group is a propanol or propanoid. So in naming this one as an ethyl and this one as propanoid, it becomes ethyl propanoid. Let's take some practical examples and look at how esters are named. So let's say we have this as an ester. This ester is a reaction between butanoic acid and ethanol. So butanoic acid and ethanol, when they react, they produce an ester called ethyl butanoate, from the fact that this side of the alcohol is the ethyl, whereas this side is butanoic acid. So the carboxylic acid portion is named as an alkanoid, whereas the alcohol portion is named as an ethyl. So in this case, this side is an ethanol and this side is a butanoic acid. So in naming it, you name it as ethyl butanoate. If let's say here was a pentanoic acid, it becomes ethyl pentanoate. Let's take another example. Let's assume we have this. As an ester. Now try your hands on and name this ester. This side, alcohol, is a cyclohexanol. And this side is a methyl butanoic acid. Methyl butanoic acid. So in naming it, you say 3-methyl butanoic acid. So when you blend all, the cyclohexanol becomes an acyl group. So you become cyclohexyl. Cyclohexyl. Then coming here, you realize that here's carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4. So the methyl group is on the carbon 3 of the butanoic acid. So this one becomes cyclohexyl 3-methyl butanoic acid. Cyclohexyl for the alcohol, then 3-methyl for the substituent, this methyl butanoate. Cyclohexyl 3-methyl butanoate. Let's take last example. Let's say you are assigned to name this ester. You have to name this ester. This ester is coming from isopropanol. This group is called isopropanol. And this side is benzoic acid. So in naming it, it becomes isopropyl. Isopropyl. Then this one is benzoic acid, so it becomes benzoate. So the name of this ester is isopropyl benzoate. So it's very simple. You name the alcohol portion as an acyl, then you name the carboxylic acid portion as an oate. So that's basically how esters are named. Let's move to amides. Esters and amides are all derivatives of carboxylic acid. So they are all synthesized from carboxylic acid. As esters are produced by reacting carboxylic acid with an alcohol, amides are also produced by reacting a carboxylic acid with an amine. Any group of compound where the nitrogen is bonded to an acyl group with no oxygen is termed as an amine. So reacting a carboxylic acid with an amine will produce an amide. So here today is formation of water. So you are going to produce this as the product. Produce so this nitrogen, one of this hydrogen will be displaced. So you have one here, and the R of the amine. If here's R1, this is R2, here's R2, and this is R1. So this is structure of an amine, and it is also produced by a reaction between an amine and a carboxylic acid. This is an amide. 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 Let's see how amides are also named. If If you react any carboxylic acid with an ammonia, you also produce an amide. Let's say you have this carboxylic acid plus ammonia. Here too there is displacement of one hydrogen, and you're going to produce an amide. This one is called an ethanamide. Ethanamide. If it is like this, it is propanamide. If it is like this, it is butanamide. That's how amides are generally produced. Named. So in naming it, you name it as the corresponding alkane, then you remove the last E, then replace it with amide. So if it is propane, it becomes propanamide. If it is hexane, it becomes hexanamide. Just like that. But we have cases where the incoming amine is either a primary amine or a secondary amine. So if you have this as a drew area, let's say you have this plus, let's say you have this is an amine. These two will interact to produce this amide. So one of the hydrogens will be displaced. You have one hydrogen left here. Then, so this is an amide produced when we react this amine with this carboxylic acid. The parent name of this compound is propanamide, but because this acar group is like a substituent on the N, so here an N in this compound indicates a position. This one is named as N-ethyl propanamide. N-ethyl propanamide. That's how amides are also named. So in naming amides, we show the position or any group on the nitrogen as a nitrogen position. So let's have this typical example. If you have this, let's say you have this compound. This is also an amine, of which one hydrogen of the of which one hydrogen of the common amine has been displaced to produce this amide. The parent name of this amide is 3-methyl butanamide. That's the parent name. But because this N has substituent this and this on it, it is named as N-ethyl N-methyl before you come to this gene. This N indicates the position of these ones. So in naming this ethyl and methyl, ethyl comes before the methyl because of the E and M. So this one becomes N-ethyl N-methyl 1, 2, 3. Then you come to 3-methyl butanamide. So that's how basically amides are named. You show the position of the groups on the incoming amine with N. So if here was, let's say, just one methyl, this one will be named as N dimethyl because you're having two methyl groups on the N. Comes N dimethyl, then you come to here 1, 2, 3, 3-methyl butanamide. That's how amides are produced. This is No Captains TV. Kindly like and subscribe to the page and be updated on any video that we drop on this channel. Thank you.